What's up guys, Muffin here, and today we react to the most unfaithful Family Guy characters. The videos by Alex Griffin, make sure to check them out.
Who's cheated the most on Family Guy? Yeah, we know that every character crafted by McFarlane's pen could break moral laws at any minute, but within these...
I know, okay, first of all, I'm trying not to pause too much, this is a long video, but I think we already know the answer. It's probably Lois. The thumbnail kind of gave it away, but I've watched pretty much every season of Family Guy except for the most recent season. Like we all know it's freaking Lois, but let's keep going.
Law-breaking controversial characters, who is the most unfaithful? Starting from the least to the worst, we have number 9, Joe Swanson. Yup, at the bottom of this list is none other than Joe. Although this no-legged officer would do anything to fight crime, he's also rolled his way into temptation this one time. And it all happened in the episode Internal Affairs. Joe busts up this high-terror drug scene, and for the first time in a while, he gets celebrated for this win. The celebration's so big, his boss even throws him a party. But while everyone congratulates him and makes plans to attend the party, his wife is, well, let's say her reaction to the news isn't the best.
The chief is even throwing me a party tonight.
I don't know if I can take another evening of sympathetic eye contact from all the other wives.
I kind of feel sorry for her too, but couldn't you try, Bonnie? Ugh. Anyway, it's party time and things are starting to get jiggy. But something happens that throws Jiggy at the window. A police officer named Nora walks up to Joe with a line no one saw coming.
You know how they say never meet your heroes? Well, they don't say anything about kissing them.
Ooh, did someone just turn the heat on? Better turn it off because this officer's married and noble. Kinda. So Joe turns Nora down, letting her know he's off the grid. Kudos, bro. We're proud of you. Till we're not. At the Drunken Clam, Joe opens up to Peter and Quagmire, the worst friend combo, by the way, about a situation, and trusts the duo to give Swanson the best advice on the planet. Did I say best? Let's change that. Peter and Quagmire give Joe the silliest advice ever. They tell him to get even with Bonnie because of the guy who defied her with this stinky French wiener. To put it simply, they encourage Joe to damn every consequence and cheat on Bonnie. Joe, putting his sense of reasoning and morality to the side, takes their advice. The next day at work, Joe makes a move on Nora, and they wind up in the bathroom for a quickie.
I just want to say, to be fair, I don't think Joe would have went through with this if it wasn't for Peter freaking... If it was for Peter talking about some, like... I forgot exactly. Okay, well, technically, Quagmire was the one who said, didn't she have the affair in Paris? But, like, Peter made it seem like she actually... No. Lois told Peter that he... Okay, I'm trying to remember this. Lois told Peter that Bonnie wanted to have an affair in Paris. She didn't actually have the affair, but to be fair, like, I mean, the fact that you wanted to even, I mean, like, that kind of by itself, I mean, wanting to do it, and I don't know. What's worse, wanting to have an affair or actually having the affair? I mean, I guess both are pretty bad. Let me, actually, I'm leaning all the way back. Let me pull in a little bit. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, Joe.
Oh, Nora.
Did you bring protection?
Oh, don't worry. Nothing comes out of the front.
Let's act like we didn't hear that. Like that's not bad enough, he breaks the news to Peter and Quagmire at his son's birthday, but that doesn't go so well.
You cheated on me? You bastard!
Turns out there was a baby monitor in the room from which Bonnie overhears the conversation. The result, a hands-down, hypocritically terrifying Bonnie bawling her throat out. For good reason too. In the end, Bonnie never slept with a French guy in Paris, so that made Peter and Glenn's advice baseless. Joe blames his unfaithfulness on Bonnie's recent behavior, but she's still not having it. They both ask for a divorce.
Cation rituals on my body after we have sex. I find it cleanses the immeasurable sadness of having lain with a wretch.
I want a divorce!
You got it!
But in a sudden twist of events, Peter and Lois team up to fix their marriage by recreating the day Joe met Swanson as a stripper.
Honey, I just want to say I'm sorry. I was a real ass, and I miss you.
I'm sorry, too. I know I haven't been that easy to live.
I almost said aw when I saw the scene, but marriage fixed or not, Joe let himself slip into the cheating hole. Thankfully, he got caught himself and even felt guilty afterwards. Although Joe has only one confirmed cheating case, the next character is a repeat offender. Number 8, Carter Pewterschmidt. All hail the wealthiest father-in-law in Quahog. Now, we know Carter is not the best of humans. From seeing broke people as less than human to believing that rules don't apply to him because of his money, this guy is just unbearable. Still, Carter adds one more vice to his pile when he cheats on Barbara. In Welcome Back, Carter, Peter and Lois pay a visit to Peter Schmidt household. Everything seems fine. Okay, maybe a little bit boring until Peter tries to call Carter in for dinner. But oops, seems like Mr. Carter is already getting a full black-haired Asian meal on his yacht.
Okay, I don't know if he's gonna show the clip, but he the whole time he was explaining what was going on, he just kept making it worse.
To make things worse, his excuses are just sick.
Notice, man, you're having an affair? Ew!
No, this is my sister.
Ew.
No, I'm impotent.
Ew.
I mean, she looked at me while I did it to myself.
Ew!
Okay, ew, but you know how Carter can get. He strong arms Peter to stay quiet, and you can say that was the toughest dinner of Peter's life. Peter survives the stay at Carter's house and returns home without spilling. Not until he goes drinking with his buddies, though. Once Peter reveals Carter's affair, Quagmire suggests something interesting.
My mouth's shut.
Actually, you know something, Peter? This could be an opportunity for you.
What do you mean?
Well, Lois's dad is loaded. You could probably get him to pay through the nose to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, you
True talk, Carter's loaded with money and trouble. With Quagmire and Joe's support, Peter blackmails Carter into doing the most ridiculous stuff. Stuff like using his bathtub, asking Carter to write catchphrases, and even sending him to cuss at French people.
Of France, a good-looking, depressed guy smoking a cigarette is not a movie. And your sirens sound like gay guys having a threesome.
Peter sure has Carter in a
I thought he
chokehold,
was gonna
but the
show the full
demands
clip.
didn't stop. When Peter asks Carter for his TV, Peter accidentally spills the beans in front of Barbara and Lois.
Is the best, and he is awesome, and he makes better laser sounds than I do.
Pachoo, pachoo, pachoo. Damn right, you hear that, Lois? And he's not just saying that because I covered for him about his affair.
Of course, Carter is furious.
Bruh.
When Barbara asks for a divorce, Carter moves from angry to devastated. But his son-in-law steps in to remind Carter of the joys of bachelorhood. However, this still doesn't go well.
Fetch me a John Barrymore and soda and 3 Myrna Loys for the women.
Excuse me?
What the hell is your problem, you jerk?
What? Does he belong to somebody else?
How can it with that disgusting racist attitude? Carter eventually realizes his mistake and apologizes to Barbara, promising to never cheat on her again. But in Carter and Trisha, that promise evaporates into thin air. Out of the blue, Carter buys Pawtucket Brewery to diversify his income. And of course, this spells hell for Peter. Alongside adjusting to unreasonable demands from his father-in-law, he overhears a chilling conversation.
Mr. Pewterschmidt, what you're ordering is illegal.
I don't care about that. I want our beer cans made from the cheapest material possible.
But sir,
What about those metal toilets where prisoners make wine?
Pewterschmidt is the most, I tell you. Peter, who has no problem fighting a giant chicken through space and time, somehow recognizes the danger of Carter's suggestion and tells the reporter, Trisha Takanawa, yeah, Trisha instead of the FDA. But when Trisha tries to get the gist from the horse's mouth, Carter is mesmerized.
Porter.
Okay, maybe this guy just has a thing for Asian ladies. 1 minute Carter's taunting Peter as his new boss, and the next he's calling Trisha the love of his life. But Carter's a married man, remember? So where's Barbara in all of this?
What about Mom? Where is Mom?
The sanitarium.
The sanitarium?
Yeah, I told her I was leaving her and she freaked out for no reason.
Putting your wife in a mental...
So Carter, okay, so he as far as I've known from what we've seen, he's cheated twice. I guess yeah, that does count as a repeat offender. Actually, I never point. Actually, no, think about it, bro. I never noticed he does have a thing for Asian women. Guess we're more alike than I thought. Anyways,
institution, so you can have some fun. That's unfaithfulness on another level. But if you think Carter's cheating actions are brutal, this next character would leave you feeling sorry for their partner. Number 7, Barbara Pewterschmidt. Yep, Babs, wife to ever-repelling Carter Pewterschmidt. But it might shock you to learn that Barbara Pewterschmidt's got a few secrets of her own. In The Fat Guy Strangler, we see the traumatic effects of Barbara's cheating. In this episode, Lois sees an old family portrait and discovers that she has a brother.
That's weird.
I didn't know you had a brother.
I don't. I mean, I don't think so.
Of course, this is beyond news for her. After confirming from their family records, Lois sets out to meet her long-lost brother, Patrick Pewterschmidt. But it turns out...
Is my brother really insane?
Mrs. Griffin, we don't use the word insane. We prefer the term mentally hilarious.
Turns out he's in a mental institution? Interesting. But what's even crazier is how Patrick ended up in the asylum to start with. Happens that Barbara slept with Jackie Gleason and Patrick just happened to walk in on the site. If you wondered how Barbara is worse than Carter on this list, here's your answer. How do you cheat on your husband in front of your child, then watch him get tossed into an asylum after being traumatized by the sight? That's a top-tier family disaster. However, this is not the only time Barbara has thrown Carter's trust in the mud. In Peter Erotica, Barbara displays her most calculated betrayal. In this episode, Peter writes an erotic novel. Yes, Peter, that goes viral. So viral that one guy listened to the audiobook while driving and got into a horrible accident.
Or maybe some kind of Spanish.
Oh yeah, getting hot in here. I better take my shirt off.
The result? The publisher of the book has to take the fall. And guess who's the publisher? Carter Pewterschmidt. Because of Peter's foolery.
I never really understood that. Like, here's the thing. How are you responsible for what someone does in their car while listening to your book, bro? That doesn't make sense. How are they even being held responsible? That never made sense to me. I'm sorry.
Carter ends up a broke man, and like you might have guessed, Bro's having a terribly hard time being poor. This is where Barbara comes in. More like, goes away.
Mom left you?
Yeah, she ran off with Ted Turner. God only knows what they're doing.
Should we give Elmo a bat?
Yeah.
Should we give Telly a bat?
Yeah.
Imagine leaving your husband for another man because he's broke.
instances.
Now that's what you call first-class unfaithfulness. Later in the episode, Barbara divorces Ted Turner, wins over his wealth in court, and returns to Carter so they are rich again.
Darling,
Bab, sweetheart!
honey, we're rich again. I divorced Ted Turner and took half his money. We own half of CNN
Hey!
and TNT.
Neat.
If that's not disturbing, I don't know what is. But while Barbara betrayed her husband, our next character specialized in something even worse, betraying his best friends. Number 6, Glenn Quagmire. For number 6, we've got...
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna stop you right there. This man has not been faithful to any type of woman, so I don't even know why he's on this list. Okay. As long as we've known Quagmire, the only person he's been, quote-unquote, faithful to is... Shit, I don't even know. Who has he been faithful to? Cheryl Teagues, I think. I think it was Cheryl Teagues that he was faithful to. But let's keep going.
the man who wears the steamy hot crown and quahog, none other than Quagmire. Although you might wonder why he's on the list since he hardly commits to any of his flings. He's number 6 because he cheats on the one thing he pledges commitment to, his friends. In the Cleveland Loretta Quagmire, Quagmire drops his first strike. While on a free yacht hangout with Peter, family, and friends, Quagmire tries fishing at sea. But somehow, his first catch lands in a rather interesting place.
Yeah, you go in and get that. Show that fishy who's boss.
Loretta, they have some of that 3-bean salad you're so fond of. Hey, Quagmire.
Wait, Cleveland, you really didn't see that? Anyway, Quagmire retrieves his catch from between Loretta's boobs, but it doesn't stop there. Loretta invites him for more. But instead of resisting the temptation, Quagmire jumps at the offer and keeps doing it with Cleveland's wife, not until Peter and Brian walk in on the daytime atrocity.
Peter Griffin, temporarily suspended CPR. Holy crap!
Imagine tossing bro code in the trash for a few minutes of pleasure. Quagmire's got no limits or shame, to say the least. When Cleveland tries to beat him up, Quagmire acknowledges his fault and swears to choose his friendship over his lust. Doesn't stop Cleveland's marriage from hitting the rocks, though. But in the next instant, giggity giggity, Quagmire forgets his promise and betrays another friend. In April and Quahog, it's suddenly the end of the world, and with this end came a lot of drama. From Mayor West cussing out a...
Okay, so basically, when it comes to Quagmire, it's not really more about commitment. It's more about, like, betraying a friend's trust. So more about betraying his friends than it is commitment, because you can't be committed to your friend's wife. But then again, I don't know, it's freaking 2026, bro. There's all types of different relationships nowadays, so I mean, pretty sure that's the thing somewhere. Anyways,
Orion to Jesus electrocuting more Goldman, Quahog was on Chaos Overdrive. But in the apocalyptic dilemma, you can imagine what Quagmire's last wish was. See for yourself.
The fellas, I'm a virgin, Joe. I don't want to die a virgin. Help me, please. Let me have sex with Bonnie.
I guess so. For my friend, on our last day on Earth.
You're a good man, Joe Swanson.
That was your first time?
Wow, just wow. Manipulating your best friend to believe you're a virgin is one thing, having sex with his wife is an entirely different ballgame.
That was your first time?
Oh, I've had sex lots of times. I just wanted to have it again.
And to think that Joe thought it was okay to let Quagmire sleep with his wife like that, wonder where his detective skills went. But when you think about it...
Who else but Quagmire?
Well, Diane.
Brace yourself, though. It gets crazier than that. When Peter suffers from amnesia this one time, Quagmire seduces Lois and almost sleeps with her.
I think I can make it from here. Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoops! Professor Klutz, the doctor is in.
Even Brian is not left out of the friendship betrayal. Although the two are sworn enemies, Quagmire pushes the line to the moon when he sleeps with Brian's girlfriend, Carolyn.
Quagmire!
Cleveland, close the window. You're letting the stank out.
What makes Quagmire's betrayals disturbing is that they weren't just crimes of passion, these were conscious choices to put his sexual gratification over his friendships. And he did it to all his friends. At least Quagmire's behavior is expected, but when the lovable idiot of the group starts cheating, you know there's zero hope for morality in Quahog. Number 5, Peter Griffin.
Wait, where did Peter cheat? Hold on, let me think. Let me think. Now that I think about it, the main time you saw Peter with other people was sometimes mainly animals, actually. You see him with the rhino, you see him with the horse, you seen Peter with... Okay, I want to see where he goes with this one. This is actually pretty interesting because I'm trying to figure out where we're going with this.
By my standards, this guy should get a whole dumbass show, and here's why. He gets away with literally everything he does on the basis of being dumb. Bro can crash a house, kill thousands, and even destroy the world with his foolishness, yet nobody holds him accountable, and it's no surprise when he gets away with having an affair. In Big Man on Hippocampus, Peter and his family join a Family Feud competition. At first, things seem to right smoothly, the Griffin's on the winning end. But once the tables are turned and they get kicked out of the show, Peter turns violent, and so does the presenter.
What about my cave in the yard? What about my cave in the yard?
Get your hands off me. I served in the fictitious military.
With one swift blow to Peter's gut, he blacks out and loses his memory.
What happened? Where am I? Who are you?
I'm Lois.
Lois who? Who the hell am I?
Yeah, someone had to do that. But this newfound amnesia came in with a rebranded level of stupidity. After learning how to do it again with Lois, Peter realizes something profound.
Who the hell is she?
She's the woman I'm gonna have sex with tonight.
Why stay faithful, huh? Really profound discovery. So your pot-bellied bestie brings home a chick and dumps his family for a night with her. Amnesia or not, bro's sense of reasoning is just the barest minimum. In Take My Wife, Peter rubs Lois's face even deeper in the mud. I mean, even the episode's title should tell you something. Here, Peter mushies up to Quagmire's temporary partner Kimmy during a couple's counseling trip.
Yeah, you guys should definitely come. Yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
This guy doesn't give two shits about how Lois feels at times like this, and it just makes him more unbearable. It's so bad that when he gets paired with Kimmy for a practical, Peter's more than excited about it.
You're awesome. You're so funny.
Hey, Kimmy, I'll pay you $1,000 for one whole handful of your butt. For 2 handfuls, I'll give you my car.
Peter completely disregards his wife and ignores her for Kimmy throughout the trip. Ugh, if Lois ever decides to dump Peter for good, I'll show up as a willing witness. But while Peter's infidelity was often excused as accidental, our next character's affair was so devastating that it literally ended a marriage for good. Number 4, Loretta Brown. Loretta Brown holds a very special position in Family Guy history. Her affair not only broke her marriage, but it also caused a major spin-off into a brand new show. In the early seasons of the show, Loretta Brown sure had a solid spot as Cleveland's sassy and somewhat dismissive wife, not with the condescending she always had at the tip of her tongue. If you're sure of one thing, it's the blatant disrespect for Cleveland. So this perfectly sets the tone for her betrayal in the Cleveland Loretta Quagmire. We've seen Quagmire's POV, but what about Loretta's attitude to the situation?
Oh, you're gonna have to reach into the cookie jar.
Well, I can't just, you're my best friend's wife. Reach into, all right.
Yeah, you go in and get that. Show that fishy who's boss.
While Quagmire has the reputation of being ridiculously crude, Loretta really pulled a lever by inviting him in instead of resisting. So Loretta's number 4 on the cheating scale for 2 reasons. 1, you could perhaps excuse Glenn because he thinks with his junk before his brain, but Loretta, she knew what she was doing. Her betrayal was intentional and mean as hell. 2, when Quagmire realized the gravity of what he did, man was sorry as hell, or at least he tried to make up for it.
Someone has harmed me.
I'm sorry, Cleveland.
But Loretta was the exact opposite.
It was unforgivable. This marriage is over.
Well, that's just fine, Cleveland, because I am through being your wife.
Well, I may not be perfect.
She had zero remorse, zero apologies, and an insult waiting for Cleveland. Cleve's got no balls, but I'm glad he didn't tolerate this one. The affair stung so badly, McFarlane used it as the perfect background story to create another show. Well done, ex-wife Loretta Brown. Your actions ended a marriage, but at least you weren't hypocritical about it. This next character preaches about morality, then proceeds to break it the very next instant. Number 3, Brian Griffin.
Yeah, I knew he was coming. I knew he was coming. I knew he was coming. Okay, so let's look at all of Brian's relationships. I'm gonna see if I can cover every single person he's about to explain here. Okay. So the old lady that he dated, he cheated on her. Who else did Brian cheat on? Did he cheat on Jillian? I think he cheated on Jillian. Julian, sorry. Where'd I get Jillian from? I'm not entirely sure he cheated on Julian. He didn't cheat on the blind girl. He lied to her. I think I've only gotten one correct so far. I can only think of one so far. I'm sorry.
Brian Griffin likes to portray himself as the most intellectual, sophisticated, morally conscious person on Family Guy. He's the kind of guy you look at and say, oh, he wouldn't do such a thing. But in reality, Brian breaks your expectations and more, including his relationships. But Brian's most despicable act of infidelity happens in Brian's Got a Brand New Bag. In this episode, this dog tries his luck, yet again, at dating. After Peter bashes the car of a pretty young lady, Brian sees this as an opportunity to ask her on a date.
Well, maybe you can help me out.
What's that?
I have a dinner reservation for 2 tonight at Dominic's, and it's just me.
I see your problem. I think I might be able to help.
Ooh, nice line for Nicole. However, the mood is ruined when Brian shows up at Nicole's house, but she already ditched him for another date. But trust Brian, man's the master of opportunities, so he latches onto Nicole's mom, Rita, and they start dating. Sounds sweet, right? Until it isn't. Turns out Rita's 50 years old and the Griffins won't stop taunting Brian about it.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you can taste it.
Hey, you know what we haven't done for a while? Go around the table and everybody says what year they were born.
Still, Brian's determined to make it work with Rita. He asks her to marry him and she agrees. To celebrate, they get in bed to consummate their engagement, but the night doesn't go as planned.
Was that your boob?
No. I think I broke my hip.
Oh my God, what should I do?
Call the number on my bracelet.
Did Rita just break her hip? Yep, she sure as hell did. Brian takes her to the hospital where she has to get surgery and stay in bed. Now, Brian's suddenly become her caretaker. How does this morally upright dog react to this?
You want to have sex in the bathroom?
Oh gosh, what a treat. Yes, I would like that.
Right, he gets laid. After pledging to stick with Rita no matter what, Brian jumps to the first girl who offers a quickie in the bathroom. Bravo, Brian. All it took to get you wagging your tail at another woman was a constipated fiancé.
Were gonna make me constipated. Right they were.
Okay.
I am plugged up.
No.
If you blame his infidelity on Rita's illness, what about the times when he's disregarded both friendships and the institution of marriage? This one time, Brian kept sleeping with Tori, a married woman, even after knowing she was married.
Tori. Sell lawnmowers.
Oh.
Wow, he really has no idea. Hey, want to take a shower with me?
Sure. Man, this is a pretty sweet gig.
Let's not forget when he jumped.
Okay. So he cheated one time. Okay. He cheated one time, but he's more like Quagmire. He's more like Quagmire. Him and Quagmire both like to sleep with best friends, partners. And I think that's low-key why Quagmire hates Brian so much. He sees so much of himself in Brian. That might be why Quagmire hates himself so much. Sorry, hates Brian so much, because he sees himself in Brian. Anyways.
Jumps on an offer to smooch with Bonnie Swanson.
I'm sorry, I didn't...
This dog even takes things under when he makes a move at Meg. To crown it, the intellectual dog has always had a huge crush on Lois. It's so intense that he even confesses his feelings to Lois while on vacation with the husband and wife.
And to me also sorrow, for circumstance had bound her to my best friend, through whom we met in the warmth and serenity of her home.
See why he's number 3? Other cheaters acknowledge their sin, but Brian, this guy says one thing and does another. But if you think Brian's hypocrisy is bad, this next character went from devoted wife to serial cheater before we knew it. Number 2, Bonnie Swanson. In the earlier seasons of Family Guy, we know Bonnie to be a really sweet wife who has zero problems changing Joe's diapers and running the household. In later seasons, however, she seemed to have peeled off the good housewife skin, flaunting her disdain at Joe in front of everyone. What's worse, she had had affairs, too many to count on one hand, starting with what happened in The Heartbreak Dog. At the 46th birthday party, Bonnie cries her eyes out because of how terrible her life had become. Apparently, she's having a hard time caring for her paraplegic hubby. Brian walks in on the side and offers what he's good at: unsolicited comfort. But this consolation quickly led to a sizzling hot kiss.
You're a good girl. You're gonna be okay.
Yo, striking it hard with your neighbor's dog, that beats me too. At first, she reins it in, but after Joe confronts Bonnie about the affair, she elopes with Brian to start a new life together.
We both do. You know what? Let's get out of here.
This is just all shades of unsettling. In another episode, Joe becomes totally paralyzed after an accident during a bull run with the group. Once Dr. Hartman declares her husband paralyzed, Bonnie walks away with Susie, dropping every hint that she's moving on.
I'm leaving Joe and moving to Europe. I didn't sign up for this.
Buddy, wait. God, this is awful.
In Foreign Affairs, Bonnie joins Lois on a trip to Paris, but when Lois drafts up a to-do list for the vacation, Bonnie spills a real reason for going to Paris.
I came here to have an affair.
An affair? With who?
Anyone?
My God.
With
the fact that she just said anyone, bruh, she didn't even specify. Just anyone at all is better than Joe. That's crazy.
Just anyone? Well, true to her words, Bonnie throws signals at any guy who passes a look for her way. She takes it as far as inviting another guy into her and Francine's hotel room.
Look, Lois, don't make a big deal about it. I just needed a change from Joe.
Bonjour.
Lois, this is Francois.
Oh, you're serious.
Not just that. When this guy asks her to
Change
stay back
from
in
Joe,
France,
I mean,
she really
he
considers
looks
the
different.
offer. Remember when she dumped Joe to go to
personality,
Europe?
still.
It was this guy she wanted to meet. Like that's not enough, Bonnie has shamelessly admitted to Lois that she once had an affair with some guys she met on the internet.
I had an affair once.
You had an affair?
Mm-hmm. It wasn't anything sordid, just some guys I met on the internet.
No words, man. Perhaps it's true what Quagmire said about Bonnie.
Oh, Brian's a complete dick, we all know that. But I think we're losing sight of the point that Bonnie's a weird slut who's always letting you know she's open for business.
Now all she wants to do is kill her husband at the slightest chance. But if you think Bonnie's transformation is shocking, wait till you see who really wears the crown when it comes to cheating. Number 1.
Lois, I knew it. I knew it. The thumbnail gave it away, but even so, we all know. We all know. If you've been watching Family Guy for a long period of time, or just not even a long period of time, like if you watched half of the show, like how many seasons are there? If you watch from season 1 all the way up to like season 12 or some shit, you know, you know. Let's go.
Lois Griffin. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the top of our list. And at number 1, we've got the character who's cheated with a president, a teenager, her husband's best friends, and pretty much anyone else who crossed her path. This woman preaches family values while destroying them behind closed doors. She's the undisputed champion of infidelity and Quahog. Let's welcome Lois Griffin. You think my intro is dramatic? Wait till you see a rundown of Lois's escapades. Starting with her most remarkable, hitting it off with the president. In Bill and Peter's Bogus Journey, Peter hangs out with President Bill Clinton after helping him fix his car. But surprisingly, this new friendship is a bad influence on Peter.
All right, I'm starved. Let's do it.
Who's there?
Oh crap, go, go, go!
With such immense damage to Peter's already damaged personality, Lois cannot stand it anymore. So she storms the president's hotel room to give him peace of her mind. But instead of a warning, she leaves a piece of underwear instead. How does one move from being reasonable to being crappy in 1 minute? I'll tell you. In Ghost Do We Go, Meg finally lands a guy who looks hot. Hot and fine in the head, and like you'd expect, the whole of Quahog is beyond shocked to this news. But amid the shock, Lois does the unthinkable. Take a look.
Oh my god, that's kind of hot. I bet you taste like Mountain Dew.
Yep, Mrs. Griffin starts fantasizing about her daughter's boyfriend, Anthony. But it doesn't stop there. When Meg leaves the house, Lois comes on to Anthony and they hit it off. When Meg returns to witness the abominable sight, Lois blames it on Grape. Crappy cop-out, by the way. Cause what is this middle-aged woman doing with a teen? The crazy stuff. But our number one keeps raising the infidelity bar. In Big Man on Hippocampus, she meets Richard Dawson during Family Feud. You need to see what her reaction was. Wait, how does Peter see this and not do anything? And Lois comes out of her shell, Lois sees Justin Bieber, and it's safe to say she went wild.
Okay, just get your pants off, hon.
Stop right there. Get away from her.
Yeah, wild with desire. In the new adventures of Old Tom, Lois lusts after the new Channel 5 co-op news reporter.
In his studio above the Petco to see if I want a namaste for the whole class.
I guess he's handsome and funny.
But despite how crazy these instances are, perhaps nothing beats this one time when Lois marries Brian after thinking Peter's dead. Without confirming, she gives in to Brian's advances and marries him.
Come here, sweetheart.
Wait, Peter, there's something you should know. I'm not quite sure how to tell you this, but I got remarried.
Okay, slight comment on this one. This one is the only one that I can think is maybe kind of fair, only because, you know, some people are like, you know, if their husband or their spouse dies, a lot of people are like, yo, I'm not going to remarry. I can't think of a life with someone else other than this person that I've spent most of my life with. Then on the other hand, there are people who are like, you know, I feel like they would want me to move on type shit. And so then they do that. They move on. So I feel like this is like the only instance where I feel like maybe it's not. But the fact that she chose Brian though is crazy. But it is what it is. Oh, and are we referring to the fact that she cheated on Brian with Peter, finding out that he was still alive? Is that what we're talking about, or are we talking about the pre? I don't know. Let's keep going.
What?
But once Peter shows up, she ditches Brian and sleeps with Peter.
Yep. Okay. We gotta talk about the other thing.
Imagine cheating on two men in one episode. Now that's unhinged. When it comes to being unfaithful, Lois beats everyone in this match and proudly walks away with the trophy. This woman would break anyone's heart to satisfy her desires. What's more, she'll give you a sermon right after. If you think the most unfaithful Family Guy characters are the worst, wait till you see the 7 levels of Family Guy characters.
Well, guys, those are the most unfaithful characters in Family Guy. I'm still kind of iffy about Quagmire being on this list, considering he's not really been faithful to anyone at all. But, you know, it is what it is. But regardless, great video by Alex Griffin. Like I said, be sure to check him out. Thank you guys for watching. Let you guys stay safe, stay positive, and remember, be mindful.